Hey everyone, it's Hannah here and thanks for coming to my channel. In today's video, I will be doing a tutorial, demo, and review of the new Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette that she did in collaboration with Morphe. Yes, another collaboration with Morphe. But before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already because I do post new videos here every week. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Thehennaali because I'm always on Instagram, if not here on YouTube. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video and see what we think about the new Jaclyn Hill x Morphe Divine Neutrals palette. If you guys didn't notice, your girl is engaged. Well, honestly, this is the first video after your girl is a fiance. That happened, but you're not here for that. You're here for this baby right here. So we're gonna pretend like we didn't see this look, and let's get into the video. All right, you guys, so here is the new Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. This is in collaboration with Morphe. Yes, we do have another Morphe collab, which I was pretty shocked by. Well, I wouldn't say shocked, I was just surprised that Jaclyn did this, especially since Jaclyn does have her own brand now. But like she did mention on Instagram that honestly for her brand, she just couldn't get it to the price point and just the level of this palette. So Morphe is definitely a way more affordable brand, and Jaclyn had a really great first collab with Morphe Cosmetics. Obviously not the Vault collection, but her first original Jaclyn Hill palette was amazing. I remember I had that, I loved that palette. So I'm intrigued to see the quality of this Morphe palette. I have not touched Morphe in so long, just because there hasn't been anything really interesting or just anything I really want to try it from Morphe. To be quite honest with you, the only reason I had got into Morphe was because of Jaclyn Hill, and I think that's a lot of us probably had that same experience with Morphe. It's a very neutral, very Jaclyn. I definitely think this is more Jaclyn than even the Vault collection. Very neutral, that's pretty much her. And then inside, let me take the little plastic out. But inside here is what the palette looks like. I will say, I haven't really heard anyone else mention this that I've seen like on Instagram, but this palette gives me the Kylie Cosmetics vibe. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember, it wasn't the burgundy palette, it was the other one. I don't remember the name of it. It reminds me of the Kylie Cosmetics palette, and I definitely know that Jaclyn did really enjoy using Kylie Cosmetics, so I don't remember. I don't know if it was the browns, but I do love neutrals and I do love neutral palettes. And for me, the $18 price point I think is really great, especially if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend too much. If it's a good formula and it works, honestly, why not check it out? But before I can even say that, I definitely do want to try this out on the eyes and see how it works, blendability, how opaque it is, those shimmer metallics. Let's see what we can do with it. And yeah, so let's just get straight into this video. Of course, this is a neutral palette, so there is so much you can do with the neutral palette. You can go in with the lighter eyes, you know, a halo with neutral, a little light smoky. You know, there's so much you can do, but if you're into neutrals and just like these browns and golds and champagne tones, I think this will definitely be the palette for you. I think I'm gonna go in with Just Barely, which is this shadow right here, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid just to set my primer. And I use the one by Makeup by Mario. I just want to apply a wash of shadow. I'm now going to take the shade, this one right here, Good Vibes, and I'm going to apply that in my crease. And I do appreciate the mirror in this palette. There used to be a time, I don't know if Morphe still has those palettes, and even her original one didn't have a mirror. I mean, mind you, that palette was very large. I don't think anyone would really be holding it. But there used to be a time when Morphe didn't have mirrors. And honestly, I really like having a mirror in a palette, especially when I'm traveling or I'm not in my normal area where I do my makeup. It's so convenient to have a mirror in a palette. Okay, so that blended out well. No complaints. Okay, I want to take the deeper shade right next to it, which is Boo Bear. This one right here. I want to take Boo Bear, apply it right here. Just like that. More towards the end of my brow bone, if you guys can see that. And then more, and then towards the middle, right here, stopping it right there. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm just gonna bring it in over here. That looks pretty. And the same on this side. And then whatever's left, just bring it in. Okay, that looks nice. I want to intensify it a little bit, so I'm actually gonna go in with a smaller tapered brush, and I'm trying to use as many shadows as possible. I'm gonna take the shade Cinnamon Roll right here. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna apply it right over the same area we put Boo Bear, and I just want to kind of intensify it a little bit more. Oh wow, it's a nice brown shade. You definitely want to go in with a lighter hand when applying these kind of like just applying a deeper shadow. Then whatever's left, again doing the same thing, just bringing it in over here, whatever is left. Alright, I don't know what shade to use. There's so many really pretty ones, I really don't know what to use. I really love this one right here, Exposed. Striptease Drippin' is very pretty. I think I'm gonna go in with Drippin'. Let's see how it applies with a brush. Which, you know, these kind of shadows, I feel like you have to use your finger. Yeah, okay, yeah, I would definitely say use a ring finger, or let's see, yeah, with the finger. You definitely have to use your finger with these kind of shadows. They don't really come on that well with a brush. You can also kind of go ahead and do like a glitter primer. I know Makeup Forever has one, NYX has one. They look really good with those as well. I will say it's not the best formula, because like even sometimes when you apply with the ring finger, it's just like it's super metallic and nice, but it is more of that shimmer, which I'm not gonna lie is really nice if you're not really into super dramatic glam looks. If you want something a little bit more subtle, I think you'd appreciate it not being super metallic, but that still looks very pretty. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Let's go in with Luxe. This one right here, just as a topper, more towards my inner corner. Just want to see how this shadow applies. Ooh, so Luxe is very pretty. Let me see if it's also to do with that brush. I'm gonna try applying Dripping with this other brush I have. It doesn't really look any different. All right, let's go ahead and complete the eye. The shade Boo Bear, and I'm gonna kind of put that as close as possible to my lower lash line. I'm gonna do that to the other side as well. Okay, and then I'm going to just blend that out with a little bit of Good Vibes. Okay, so one more step is left, and that is lips. And I really want to show this one because I've really liked this combination for almost a good 2 weeks now when doing my lipstick. So I go in with this lip liner. It's from Cash Beauty. It's from Cash Beauty. She's on Instagram. It's Kaylee. It's her brand. It's an influencer brand. It's a really, really nice brand. But there's this lip liner. It's in the shade Rust Nude. Just a really nice nude lip liner. And then I like to go in, and not even because I'm just doing the Jaclyn Hill video. I really do like this lipstick from her. It's in the shade Empowered. It's her Pouts lipstick, liquid lipstick shade. And I like to just put a little bit, not a lot. So I go in with one swipe. I lightly build liquid lipsticks whenever I do use them. And then I just kind of tap the extra, and then I like to just go back in with that liner, the Rust Nude liner. Alright guys, that is a complete look. Very simple, easy, neutral, pretty look. That's what we're looking like Very pretty. What do I think of the new Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette? I will say one thing about it. It is a really pretty palette. If you're definitely a person that just loves wearing neutrals, browns, gold tones, this is a palette for you. This is a palette you can definitely get use out of every day. Now I will say, after using it, I haven't used Morphe in a while. I do know why I kind of stopped using Morphe, or not really stopped using them, but one of the reasons why I didn't care for their shadows much is because I did notice using the shade Drippin'. Now I don't know if this is throughout the whole, like all of these shades, they're not super great. Regardless if it's a metallic or a shimmer, I always had a problem with Morphe and just not being great in formula. They don't really pick up that well with the brush, which is, you know, normal. I mean, I'm usually the person that uses my finger anyways to apply like any kind of shimmer, metallic, or foil shadow. I always do that, and I'm perfectly fine with it because I always seem it's best to apply it that way. But even with this shade Dripping, even if you're just looking from far, it doesn't show up that much. And I hope you guys see this. It doesn't really show up as much on the eyes as you would expect. The one shadow that you're seeing a lot is this one right here in the inner corner, and that was the Os Luxe shadow, which was definitely a more wet formula. I applied it with my finger, with the warmth of my hand. I even tried 2 different brushes, and for some reason it just doesn't sit down on the skin as much. I mean, you could probably use a glitter primer, but I always feel like the less steps the better, and I have palettes in my collection that I don't have to use any kind of primer and they'll sit beautifully on the skin. But again, this is a very everyday palette, so you wouldn't really, I guess, care for it to be so intense. You just want a very quick little easy shimmer on the eye anyways. I do like how my eyes came out. It's very pretty, very wearable and pretty. I said pretty twice, I know. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent palette. The price is great. It's 18 bucks for, you know, this many shadows, and you get a mirror. I think it's a pretty good steal. And, you know, I see someone buying this if you're really a big fan of Jaclyn Hill, or if you just love neutral palettes and you want to add another one to your collection, and it's only 18 bucks. Now, I know a lot of people online were saying, wow, neutral palette, oh my god, so revolutionary. At the end of the day, like, everything has been done. There are so many colored palettes, rainbow palettes, pink palettes, purple palettes, green palettes. Honestly, every themed palette is done. I think it's more just we're so into makeup, just seeing new formulas, packaging, convenience. At this point in time, I think we've seen almost everything. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, you know, it's another neutral palette, because when I did see it, I was excited for it. I do love neutral palettes. I do love finding new ones to try out. I'm not one to really repurchase a palette. Once I'm done with it, I like to try new palettes, and you end up finding something that maybe you even like more. So for me, I was excited to try it out. I will say it does remind me of Kylie Cosmetics. Well, the original branding of Kylie Cosmetics, there was one palette. Oh, the bronze palette. Remember they made an extension? Like they had the bronze, the 9-pan bronze palette, but then they made an extension of that. That's what it reminds me. It reminds me of the bronze extended palette. This is what I'm getting from this. But overall, I think it's a really great palette, especially if it's user-friendly, it's beginner makeup friendly, or even if you're just looking for an everyday palette to wear to work, on your Zoom call, to lunch, to the grocery store. Even honestly, I could even see this being a really pretty bridal palette as well. But the mattes were blendable, they're nice, they're buildable. And yeah, so good job, Jaclyn. Morphe, I do hope Jaclyn comes out with her own formula and her own brand. I think we're all pretty on the same page of where it's like, I think Morphe and Jaclyn are just, I think we're ready to see more from Jaclyn herself. But overall, congrats on the new palette, and I will definitely be using this in my collection. But alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also, go ahead and check me out on Instagram at Thehennaali, because I'm always on Instagram, if not here on YouTube. And also TikTok. I've been on TikTok quite a bit lately, so you might want to check me out on there as well. You can find me at Thehennaali on almost all platforms. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.